Hi, I'm Zero and this is What If Deku Had Chakra, Part 3. We left off while All Might got put into the Tsukuyomi. So, let's continue. As soon as All Might get put into the Tsukuyomi, All Might is dragged into a different world, where the sky is red and there is black sun, but there are two suns, not one, but two black suns. And so, and All Might is standing on a battlefield. Then Izuku appears, and Izuku says, I know what you are wondering, what is this place? It's a certain kind of illusion that is placed into someone's mind itself. If you look directly into my eyes, I can put anyone into a genjutsu. I call it genjutsu, as I said. All Might would nod, and Izuku would say, in this place, I'm God. I control everything, including time itself. 1 second is like a day. So we will be training for 60 seconds for 60 days. I will teach you Muay Thai and boxing and kickboxing. And it will help you in your fighting style, improving it much more faster. All Might would note, and so Izuku will train All Might for an entire month inside of the Tsukuyomi in the basics of three fighting styles: boxing, Muay Thai, and kickboxing. And All Might has mastered these basics. These basics are enough for him because he has immense strength. And so, let's continue. And then, while Izuku cancelled out the Tsukuyomi, All Might instantly got unconscious. So Izuku healed his head, and he was awake again. Said, "Whoa, that actually hurted a lot. My head was like it was gonna go explode. It's gonna go kaboom or something." Izuku will be like, yeah, it will also help you get your brain more stronger in a sense, let's just say. All Might would nod. Then All Might will say, so, how are you gonna make me better or something? Izuku would simply state, it's simple really. I'm gonna help you get stronger by while you train. I will constantly heal you as much as I can. So you can you can recover your muscles much faster, so you will be able to get stronger much faster. It should take a month or two. And then Izuku would put his hand together and say enhance wood clone, and an enhanced wood clone will appear. Izuku would say he will be helping you with your training regiment, and I will be doing my own training. Since the entrance exam is coming, All Might would nod, and Izuku would leave All Might, and then Clone would say, follow me, All Might. All Might would nod, and they will go much more deeper. One more floor deeper, and there will be a huge gym where every form of different kind of equipment required for training was there. And so Izuku would start training All Might, telling him to do push-ups, sit-ups. But this time, Izuku would also tell All Might to be more flexible. He will force All Might to do certain gymnastic moves so he can be a little more flexible than what he was. And the clone is also healing All Might. The clone has quite a lot of chakra since he's an enhanced wood clone, so he can heal All Might quite easily. And so then the 2 months goes by. All Might is living with Izuku. He goes home, then comes back the next day. Izuku uses body flicker or Kamui perhaps to send All Might home for the first day. Then Izuku would say, here, take this. It was a 3-pronged kunai. He has 3-pronged kunai, but he prefers to use a double-sided 2-pronged kunai. Almost say, what is this? Izuku would say, while you are ready for the next day, just throw it on the ground and the clone will appear and he will teleport you to the place to train. And would like how Izuku would tell him the basics of it, that how that's the seal, that I will be reverse summoning you, ancient form, teleporting you to one place to another. All Might would nod, and then All Might would go to his home. Izuku would send All Might the halfway by using Kamui, and so I would go home, sleep, wake up the next day, eat, and throw the kunai. Then the wood clone would appear, enhance wood clone, take All Might to the uh, underground gym and start training him harder and harder. He trains him more harder than a human should be pushed because he can heal him. After a month of training, All Might has almost gotten as buff as what he was normally. He's more stronger, he's even more flexible now, and he's little more, what do you could say, shorter because of gymnastic. He kind of lost some of his height, but it doesn't matter. He can regain it because of the harsh training. Then Azuku clone will be like, now I will be placing weight seals upon you. All Might would be like, what's weight seals? It will slow you down. All Might would say, but why? So you can train much better. All Might would just say, fine. Then he will place certain seals upon him, making him uh, 2 times more heavier what he was normally. All Might would be like, whoa, this feels weird. The clone would cut him off and say, or will say, yeah. And the clone would say, now we keep on doing the training, and you won't be removing those seals until another month. All Might would nod, and so All Might would train while the seals were on. So the training became much more harder for All Might to do, much more harder because he was kind of much more heavier. He was lifting his own weight, and after that, he was also lifting the extra weight that was being placed on him. He was eating quite a lot of protein. Izuku called them the protein pills. They are kind of but hard protein covered with chocolate, so they taste better. Otherwise, they taste like shit. They're basically chakra pills, let's just say. His version of chakra pills. They're just pure calories. I mean, 5,000 calories in a single bowl, so a small candy, let's just say. All Might has gotten a little bit bigger than what he was originally, and he has got a lot more stronger because in a month, All Might was able to lift his own weight, his own body weight naturally, without using his quirk. Then, as you would say, you have completed your training, All Might. The clone would say, and say, now I'm gonna remove the seals. When Izuku would remove the seals, All Might would feel light. Well, I feel light. Izuku would nod and say, now let's do the last round of the training. They will do the same training, but All Might would see that he's not using his quirk, but it's much more easier. Like he can lift more. He's much more. Izuku's clone would say, yes, you're more stronger now, more faster. You can lean even higher, let's just say. It won't put too much pressure on your body when you decide to go up and beyond because your body has been pushed to inhumane limits. Now your body is at an inhumane level. All Might would nod and say thank you, Izuku. And then All Might would say, so when will the original coming? The clone would say, exactly in few hours. If you wanna talk to him, you may sit. Then the clone would turn into wood again. So All Might would just sit in the lobby and start watching TV. Then a portal open up and Izuku would walk out. His clothes are battered, completely damaged. Izuku would say, oh, All Might, I'm just gonna take a shower and then I'll come talk to you. All Might would nod and Izuku would leave. In the past 2 months, Izuku was in his uh, first dimension. The first dimension is the same as Obito's. The second dimension is the different dimension where there are two different rooms which he uses to hold certain stuff that can medical equipment and medical supplies and few swords and a bed to sleep in if he's outside or something. He's been training very hard. He has managed to develop all five Rasengans in short form, adding all five elements into the Rasengan, and Uh, he has mastered Rasengan fully. He can use Rasen and Wind style Rasengan, Fire style Rasengan, Water style Rasengan, Water style Rasengan, Water Prison, Earth style what do we call it? Spike Prison, and Wood style Rasengan. It basically is a when you hit someone with the Rasengan, thousands, hundreds of small needle made up of wood will penetrate someone, and then they will turn into a tree in short form, leaving nothing behind except for certain a lot of blood pool of blood. It's quite dangerous with style Rasengan. And he has completely mastered his Susanoo. He has the same Susanoo that the Sage of the Sixth Path has. That Susanoo that has, three hands, uh, and huge Susanoo. It's black. Okay, the Susanoo that appears behind Naruto and Sasuke whenever they are sitting in the whatever it's called. I forgot. You understand, Naruto has a golden figure with three arms and Buddha's face, the same face that the thousand slapping hands has, or the thousand hands laughing Buddha, or whatever it's called. And Sasuke once has a demon's face on it. So he has a demon's face and he has three arms, and his Susanoo is much more bigger than the full body Susanoo. And so Izuku takes a shower, comes out, and then he starts talking to All Might how everything is going, how is your training, much well. Because he already knows about the training, he's just asking how much better are you feeling. One would say now I can use the 100% of the quirk and I don't even feel it like I'm using it. It's natural now. Izuku would say, yeah, that's the point. I told you I will make you better. And then All Might would be like, so, are you gonna take the quote? Is it would say no. I will find you someone who I think will be much better taking your quirk. Because I will take your quirk when no one else can. Because I can live up to 500 years. All Might would be shocked and say, how? As you would say, I don't know. I just can. It's probably something to do with my quirk or something that I can live that long. All Might would say, okay, so you will be the 10th wielder or which one? Izuku would say, I will be the wielder when the power is too strong and no one else can hold it in their bodies. In short form, if I calculate correctly, if you give a quirk to someone, they use their full power, they will break their bones. And if they gave it to someone else, the damage will increase on their physical body. In short form, that person has to be trained like you were trained. So I will help you train the person, whoever you want to give the quirk to. All Might would nod, and then uh, now the 2 months has passed. So All Might would leave, and All Might would start doing his hero work, and he's doing much more hero work than he did previously. And then Nezu would contact All Might and say, All Might, are you sure you want to waste your time limit? And All Might would say, I don't have a time limit now. And Nezu would ask how. Then All Might would tell him how he was healed by someone who he will introduce Nezu when the time comes. Nezu would nod and say, and then Nezu would say, so, have you learned how to fight? Because you're fighting differently now. You are using techniques much better. You can put people down much more easier. And All Might would be like, yeah, I've learned few things. Then All Might would hear, oh, villain, stop him. Then All Might would turn off the phone and go save the day. All Might is now pretty much doing hero work almost all the time and keeping up with his minor level of physical training that Izuku told him to never stop doing. It will help him to stay in peak physical condition. All Might would say, okay. And so, um, after 1 more month, Izuku would be at Bakugo Beach and Bakugo Ni. What was the name again? I forgot. Bakuga Dekoba Park or Dekoba Beach. I think so. Yeah, Dekoba Beach. And so Izuku would start using his Susanoo to clean up the beach. And for no, he will start using his physical strength, not his chakra and us, but his raw physical strength to clean up the beach as a form of training. But he is not using his eyes to see. His eyes are closed. Close. He's trying to sense things. Where are they? While he's doing that, uh, so while after he does that, he cleans the beach in a month or so. No, few weeks. Let's just say 2 weeks. He cleans up the beach, and while he's going home, he hears us say, "Hey, give me your wallet." Izuku instantly uses body flicker to appear on the roof to see who's going on. A mugger is trying to rob someone. She is beautiful. That's what Izuku thinks, and instantly Izuku uses body flicker to appear behind the person and the says, "Hey." The person before the robber can move, Izuku grabs his neck from the behind and shoves him into the ground so hard he goes unconscious and says, "Hey, you okay?" The girl has black hair and they're kind of shaped in a pineapple shape. And so, hmm, what you call pineapple shape hairstyle. Pineapple shaped hairstyle behind her back. She has black eyes and Izuku just thinks, "Oh, this girl, it is beautiful." And so Izuku would ask her, "Are you okay?" And she will say, "Yeah, thanks, you're quite strong, aren't you?" Izuku would say, "Yes, I am." She will ask, "So, what are you, what's your quirk?" Izuku would say, "My quirk is called Chakra. I have an energy that I can control within my own body. It can help people grow stronger, let's just say." She would nod. And then Izuku would ask, "So what's your quirk?" She will say her quirk is called Creation. And then Izuku would say, "Huh, it's a pretty good quirk. You can create any kind of weapon you want to fight in a battle of fight. You can create a gun with almost infinite ammo because you can create ammos." And she would say, "I don't use guns. I am just planning to go to the UA recommendation exam." Izuku would say, "Oh, so you're a recommendation. A pleasure to meet you. I'm Izuku Midoriya, and I will be going to the UA as well. Hope we see each other again." Momo Yazurozu, she will say, and then shake his hand and say, "Yeah, I hope so too." And then both of them would start walking, and she will ask him about his quirk, he will ask her about his quirk. And they start talking, and then Izuku will say, "Hey, here my phone, give me your number. Maybe we can chat a lot. Or maybe I can train you in different forms of martial arts if you want." No, Izuku won't say that. Izuku would say we should hang out more. She would nod and write her number in his phone, and then she will leave because her driver came up with her car. Then Izuku would just use body flicker. No, he will use flying Raijin to appear at his home. And Izuku would say, "Oh, nice girl." And after that, Izuku would start working more on uh, what you call it. his lightning armor. He hasn't fully mastered it yet, but he's pretty close. He has learned the level 1 of the lightning armor. He's working on the level 2. It's much more harder, but then something happened. His head hurts a lot. He falls down to his knees. He's almost screaming. But he's just not screaming. He's just uh, grinning his teeth really hard because his head alerts him. And then he's going, is it happening? And then suddenly go. He will say Indra and Ashra, and he will gain all of the memories of Indra and Ashra. And now he is complete chakra of both Indra and Ashra, and now his chakra is fully of the sage of the sixth path. But his chakra is much more than of the sage of the sixth path, because throughout his training he has uh, gained much more chakra. He's increased his own chakra reserves a lot. And so now I would say, because in the original they didn't actually said how much chakra the Sage of the Six Path had, but I'm gonna say Izuku has as much chakra, not more, but as much chakra as the Sage of the Six Path himself. And his chakra is now completely similar to Sage of the Six Path. Now his chakra is more denser, more powerful. And Izuku would open his eyes and say, "Oh, what the hell?" Then Izuku would just start meditating and go through their memories. I'm gonna take something from the legacy in which Indra, uh, the I think so his name is Indra. Yeah, Indra, the Uchiha side of the reincarnation. I should probably check. Yeah, I was right. How Indra created a ritual that granted normal people the Sharingan, but it wasn't as good as the original. If they go to the Mangekyo, they will lose the capability to see itself. And then now Izuku also knows the same ritual. And how he will see that how his father gave chakra to the people. And then Izuku would think, can I also give some of my chakra to someone? Then Izuku would go through their both brothers' memories again and again. He will learn how to use the uh, uh, Ashra style Rasengan, the big Rasengan with uh, four more Rasengan inside, out of shell in a shell kind of thing. And now his chakra control is beyond human because the chakra control you need to do that kind of Rasengan would be much more higher than the Tsunade has. So now Izuku's chakra control is beyond anything. And then Izuku's phone would vibrate and he will see, oh, isn't that the girl named Momo Yaoyorozu? Then Izuku would start chatting with her. Both of them would click with each other in pretty different way. Both of them would start talking to each other every time they get. Then Izuku would go with her to watch a movie, and both of them would go to eat pizza and other stuff. Then Izuku would say, why don't I train you for your exam? I know every form of martial art there is. She would be shocked, like, how? Then Izuku would turn on his Sharingan and say, my eyes allows me to copy any form of fighting style I see. In short form, I just have to do myself it 3 or 4 times to get the hang of it. After that, in short form, I can learn every form of martial art there is, and that's why I did. Momo would be shocked and impressed at the same time. Then Momo would ask, what's that thing on your head, the purple thing? As you could say, it's called a 100 healing seal. In it, I have 100 times that of chakra that I do sealed inside of it, that if I ever run out of it, I can use it to replenish mine. Then Momo would say, wow, you're pretty good with your quirk, aren't you? Izuku would say, yeah, I am. So why don't I train you? Why don't you come to my home with me? She will have a little blush, but Izuku won't notice it because he was looking at the other side uh, to, to get the ice cream he was buying at the time. He'll give the ice cream to Momo, but at the time, while Izuku does that, Momo would stop blushing and say, yeah, why not? Then Momo would go to his home. He will take her. to the study and say, "Don't tell anyone about it." Then he will move some hand signs, and the seal will appear, and he will do all that stuff. Then an elevator will appear. Then he will take Momo to the lowest floor, where he has the gym, and Momo will be shocked, like, "Whoa, this is some high, different stuff. Does the government?" Izuku said, "No." You're the second person to ask that if the government knows that I had this stuff. Momo would be like, "Who was the first?" He says, "I'll tell you someday. Maybe, maybe not." Momo would pout. He would say, "Oh, cute." He would think that one said. And then Izuku would start training Momo. He will, uh, every day Momo would come to his home to train. Momo is getting more muscular because Izuku can heal her. Then Izuku would say, "Momo, uh, 1 month has passed while they are training." Because they are 10 months time, 5 months Izuku trained alone with All Might. Now the 1 month has passed. Momo say, "Yeah, maybe I can give you my quirk per se." She would be like, "What do you mean?" She would be shocked and say, "What do you mean?" Izuku would say, "Maybe I can give you some of my chakra that can help you unlock, give you access to something of my own, chakra itself." Ma would be shocked and say, "How can even that's possible?" Izuku would say, "Just trust me." And then Izuku would go behind her, lift her shirt up. She will blush like crazy and put his hand on her back. She is red as a tomato, and Izuku is not red because he's not thinking what he's doing. He's thinking of trying a theory that he had. Maybe he can also do it. So Izuku will give Momo 5% of his chakra, and that's a lot. In short, Momo has a well, it's done. Momo has a chakra of in half. Uzumaki, the same level of chakra that uh, what you call Naruto had when he was 14 or so, and that's a lot because some of the chakra that Naruto gave to the to Momo got used up to create chakra pathways and chakra points within her body, and Mo will instantly fall unconscious, and then after a few minutes she will wake up. She's lying on a bed, but that's hospital bed. She will say, "I'm in hospital." Izuku would say, "No, I was just checking if you're okay." Then she will look down. She will think, "Thank God I'm wearing my clothes." Izuku say, "Don't worry, I didn't remove your clothes. I can guess what you were thinking." And she would say, "So are we in hospital?" Izuku would say, "No, I bought all of it." She would be like, "What? What do you do to both?" Izuku would say, "I have a unique technique that I can create diamonds and sell them. And so I bought these things to just help me out with my research on human body. And if someone got injured, I can heal them much faster this way if I know what I have to look for." So she would nod, and then Izuku would say, "Can you feel it?" She would like, "Feel what?" "The chakra." She would say, "I don't know how to feel it." And then Izuku would say, "Oh, why don't you use your core?" She will use it. She would say, "I don't feel hungry that much." Izuku would say, "I was right. The chakra that I placed within you enhanced your quirk a little. A little, not as much, but a little. And now you will also use chakra as well as your fat from your body to, what do you call, create things." She like, "Whoa, impressive." And then Izuku would be like, "And I have something else for you as well." He will give her a leather black suit with few armor on it, and he would like wear it. Then she will say, "Okay." Then Izuku would leave the room. She will wear it, and then Izuku would come in. "You look good." He would say, "Thank you," while a little bit blushing, and say, "Use your quirk." She say, "I can't. There's no skin showing." You just say, "Trust me, just use it," and it will work. She will say, "How did you?" I will say, "I was able to do it. Since you have chakra, I connected it to a way that it can work," let's just say. She just run up to him and hug Izuku and say, "Thank you." And Izuku say, "Yeah." Sure. And then both of them would, she would blush and break away. And then Izuku would say, hmm, so why don't I teach you chakra control? She would like, what's chakra control? Then Izuku would walk on wall and say, this, you can do quite a lot of things and use body flicker. Then he will vanish and appear behind Momo and say, see? Then Momo would nod and say, first let's spar a little. Both of them would start sparring, but it's more like the both of them were flirting with each other. Then Izuku would put Momo down, and he's on top of her and say, "Looks like I won." And both of them are breathing heavily. In the moment, both of them would kiss each other and break away, then do it again and break away. Then Izuku would pick up, the heat got picked up and things happen. And then Izuku wake up. Momo is beside her. Izuku would say, okay, that was fun. And then Izuku would wake up and go to the kitchen to make breakfast for her. She would wake up, she see she's, naked in a bed, and Izuku would say, hi. She would blush really, really hard because she just realized what she did in the heat of movement. And Izuku would say, dinner is ready if you, breakfast is ready if you want. She would say, I'm coming while blushing. Izuku would say, he would just smirk to himself and say, yeah, yeah, you can. She is now a little bit more stronger than a human because she has chakra now, so that's that. After they eat, uh, Momo's phone would ring and it's her parents. They'll say, why didn't you come home? She will just say, I was at friend's home. I was training with him. I got too tired, so I slept at his home. And his parents would say, okay, in a month you have your uh, entrance exam. She would say, yeah, yeah, I will be training with him today as well. His parents would say, fine. Their parents have a little bit of hunch that his her friend is more than a friend, how she talks about him. And so Izuku would teach her about chakra control. Now she can walk on walls and water. Then Izuku would put her in a Tsukuyomi to teach her the fighting style. He will use 60 seconds for in morning and in the evening and before they go to sleep. Mother and sleeps together now. And so Momo has learned several forms of martial arts. Let's just say she has mastered six forms of martial arts completely in the month. She can use body flicker. She can increase her strength a little, but she can't throw the smashes as Sakura can, but she can throw smashes pretty strong than a normal shinobi. Mm. And she's quite ripped. She's strong now, and now a week is left before she goes to her exam, and Izuku would grab her while both are done eating and hug her and say, Mama, I have a question for you. She'll say, what? I wanna try something out. She would blush, she will think he wants to try a different kind of position. And so Izuku would say, not that, Mama. Momo would blush, say, how did you? He said, I know you too well, Momo. Yaoyorozu. She would just blush and say, I think I can give you the Sharingan. She would say, what do you mean, your eyes? Naruto would nod. But not the eyes that I have different ones, but the first level ones, the three-time eyes ones. She'll say, how? He would say, maybe by a ritual or something, like how I gave you my chakra, some of my chakra. She would nod. And then Izuku would do the ritual and tell Momo to drink her blood. She'd be like, are you sure? Izuku would say, yes. And then she will. Then, after drinking it, Izuku would put her in a genjutsu where she'll see him die, and then she will awaken her one Tomoe Sharingan. She would cry, and Izuku would break the genjutsu and say, "I'm sorry. It was only to awaken you." Before he can say that, she just tackles him and hugs him, said, "You baka, idiot," and just cries in his arm and says, "I'm sorry, Momo, but it wasn't necessary to awaken those eyes." You say, "What do you mean?" Then he will take out a picks her up in a bridal sign and show her in the mirror. "See, your eyes, they're of Sharingan, but the one Tomoe one." She'll say, "Whoa, I can see everything is now a little bit red." Izuku say, "Yeah, I'll teach you how to use them tomorrow." Um, at that night, they did that again. If you know, you know. If you don't, you don't. If you want me to go to the details, you can just comment that go to details a little. I will start going into a little bit more details if you want to. And so the next day, for the next week, Izuku told her to turn on her Sharingan 24/7 so she can get used to the strain. And now she has progressed her Sharingan to two Tomoe in both eyes. And so she goes. She still goes to her home sometimes, and um, before they go to the entrance exam, her father said, "So, aren't you gonna let us meet your boyfriend?" She would blush, like, "How did you?" Uh, Her father would say, "I know you, Momo. I know how you are. I can see you. You've gotten more stronger. You have more muscular. You have more confidence within you. So, who's the guy?" She will tell him about it. Izuku has told her the story how his parents died, and his father would say, "Okay, Momo, I understand. If you like him, I don't mind at all." She said, "Thank you, father." So, her father would be like, "So when are you gonna make him come to meet us?" She would say, "I'll tell him after I pass the exam, entrance exam, entrance exam, your recommendation exam, let's just say recommendation exam." Her parents would like, "Fine, Momo, fine." Then Momo would go, and she'll do pretty well, much well, because in the combat test she used her Sharingan uh, with her body flicker and her creation to easily beat the shit out of whoever she was fighting. Or the robots, let's just say they also fought robots. And all of them teachers are kind of shocked, like, what kind of quirk is that? She had a creation quirk, but now she has red eyes with two black things in them, and she can move so fast. And so, but All Might is also there, but All Might is thinks, does she relate it to him? But no, it can't be. Maybe I should ask him about it. And then All Might would go off to the teacher's room and call Izuku and ask about it. Izuku would say, "Yeah, I gave my chakra to her. I learned how I can give some of my chakra to people so they can awaken chakra within them. And I did a little bit of ritual with her to give her the Sharingan." All Might would nod. And then uh, she would come directly to Izuku's home, runs up while Izuku is on his bed just lying and relaxing, jumped on top of him. Izuku was like, "Damn girl, you're on top of me again." She will blush so hard. And then Izuku just kissed her and says, "Congratulations on passing." Mom would be like, "How did you know?" He said, "I got a call from All Might." And she would be like, "Why would the number one?" And Izuku would say, "I know him pretty well. I trained him myself." She would be shocked because he never told her. She would be like, "Why didn't you tell me about it?" He said, "I just want to keep it a surprise for my princess." She would blush. Then Mom would like, "My parents want to kind of want to see you." Izuku would like, "Fine. When, why don't you call your parents for dinner tonight?" She would say, "Are you sure?" He'd be like, "Yeah, sure. It's up to me. I'd rather spend my entire life with you." while saying that he will grab her hands, push her down the bed, and then do a makeout session in which they have to break off so they can breathe. And now this is where I leave the video. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe.